As long as I am unable to exercise my constitutional right to vote, I do not have command of my own life. I cannot determine my own destiny, for it is determined for me by people who would rather see me suffer than succeed. Those that have gone before us say, no more, no more. That means protest, that means march, that means disturb the peace, that means jail, that means risk, and that is hard. We will not wait any longer. Give us the vote.
That's right. No more.
We're not asking, we're demanding. Give us the vote.
Any movie that is about race relations, the right to vote, and the kinds of struggles and resistance that was meted out by a regime is of direct relevance to South Africa. And it's not just of historical relevance, it's also very contemporary. Because one of the issues that maybe we have not dealt with properly in the past 20 years is the issue of race relations. And therefore, there were many lessons from this movie, but it's quite moving as well. Yeah.
I thought it was an amazing film. I thought they stuck very closely to the history and presented it in a very powerful way. The acting was wonderful, very believable. It's a very harrowing story. It's not a kind of movie you enjoy, but I think its importance for South African audiences is to remind us of the message of the struggle and to say that these things are relevant to us even today. I felt that the way they dealt with the violence, the suspense around the police, a lot of the things were very relevant. And I feel that I've always felt that the civil rights movement, young people don't know too much about it. And I thought it's a very important movie for our young people.
The most important lesson that we take away from here, despite, there were tears that came down during this film, is that there are many Selmas out there today. There are other Sowetos crying out loud for us today. Discrimination, racism, ISIS, Yemen, Syria, Libya, Egypt, Nigeria, all these places which are now beginning to experience turmoil in the 21st century. People in those countries as well, not just America and South Africa, should take lessons from Selma, from Soweto, from Mandela, that you too can overcome. And those words were uttered by somebody who's terrible, President Lyndon Johnson. He is in the film. He is still more known as the Hawker of Vietnam. But here he atoned himself by realizing that you cannot defend liberty abroad whilst you desert it at home. So by signing that law in the presence of Dr. King, atones for the Johnson family.